Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to solve linear inequality using multiplication property of inequality. Oh, let us first recall what is multiplication property of inequality. The sense of inequality is changed only when multiplying or dividing both sides of the inequality by a negative real number. So it means that if you have real numbers A, B, C, and if A is less than B, then AC would still be less than BC if C is positive. So this means that the sense of inequality did not change because what we multiply or divided to the number is positive. Okay? But for all real numbers A, B, and C, if A is less than B, then AC is greater than BC if C is negative, which means that if our inequality is initially less than, it will be greater than after we multiply or divide both sides of our inequality by a negative real number. Okay? So let us apply that in some examples. Okay? Let us solve 5x. 5x is less than or equal to 15. Okay? So remember that if we are solving inequality, our goal is to isolate the variable. Do we have any number beside 5x which contains the variable? So there are no other number beside 5x, but there is a number besides x, 5. So we need to eliminate 5. And we can do that if we will divide both sides by 5 or we multiply by 1 over 5. That's the same operation. I'll just rewrite it. 5x is less than or equal to 15. We will divide both sides by 5, which is the same as multiplying both sides by 1 over 5. And our answer is x less than or equal to 3. Remember that it is already our final answer if the numerical coefficient of our variable is equal to 1 and the other side contains only a constant. Kailangan positive to, kailangan constant siya, wala nang katabi. So this is already our answer. X is less than or equal to 3. Okay? Let's just write it in interval notation. IN na lang nilagay ko. Less than or equal to 3, so it means negative infinity until 3 close interval. Kasi included yung 3. And if you want to graph, or the sketch of the graph of our solution set is the set of numbers from 3. So we have 2, 1, 0, 3 included yung 3, it will be shaded or solid circle, and then we shade to the left. Okay? If we are solving inequality, it is advisable to write your variable on the left and your constant on the right so that it will be easier for us to describe our answer, which is x is less than 3. And remember that if you are solving inequality, our answer is just one number but set of numbers. And if you want to check your answer, then you pick a number that is less than 3. So let's say we choose 2. 5 times 2 is 10, which is less than 15. And since 3 is included here, if we use 3, 5 times 3 is 15, which is equal to 15, which still makes our inequality true. Okay, let's have another example. I'll use black. Negative 3y is less than or equal to 12. Okay, that is our given. So, the numerical coefficient of y is negative 3, so we have to divide negative 3y by negative 3. I'll rewrite it. And then 12. We need to divide both sides by negative 3. Yan. And remember, if we are dividing by a negative number, we need to change the sense of inequality to its opposite, which means that since our inequality here is initially less than or equal to, it will be greater than or equal to after we divide by -3. Okay? That's why it is easier for you to rewrite it before you divide. So that you can see that you need to change your inequality. And if you rewrite it and divide both sides by -3, then this is already your answer or the inequality that you will use in your answer. Okay? So, -3y divided by -3 is y greater than or equal to -4. And that is our answer. If you want to write it in interval notation, then it is -4, included yung -4 until positive infinity because it is greater than -4. And if you want to sketch the graph, it is the set of all numbers, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0 to the right. If you use circle, solid circle, and then we shade to the right. But for the graph, you can also use bracket. If you use bracket, then this solid circle is replaced with bracket. Okay? Let's have another example. -4x is greater than 52. Okay. Negative. Again, the number besides x is negative. So we have to divide both sides by negative. That's right. Divide both sides by -4, which means that we need to change the sense of inequality from greater than to less than. And this is x. This is -13. So less than. Our answer is x less than -13. In interval notation, less than -13, it means we are going to negative infinity. Negative infinity until -13 open interval. Kasi -13 is not included. And in graph, if you sketch the graph, -13, -14, -15, -12 here. So we put a circle on -13 and we go to the left because -13 is not included, and to the left because it is less than. Okay? Let's try to check our answer. Kasi in this example, we divided by negative, which means that we need to change the sense of inequality. So, less than -13. Let's try -14. Okay? -14, if we substitute in our original equation, -14 times -4 is equal to 56. Which means our inequality is true. 56 is greater than 52. Okay? So, which means that since -14 is less than -13, it is correct that our answer should be less than -13 and not greater than. So, the process of changing the sense of inequality here is correct in our equation. Okay? Let's have another example. One over 4 x less than 3 over 8. Okay? So, we can multiply 4 to both sides of our inequality. So, we have 1/4 x, I'll rewrite, 3 over 8. Since positive naman siya, the sense of inequality will not change. We will multiply both sides of our inequality by 4. This will become x less than 3 over 2. And that is our answer. Less than, it means to the left of 3 halves. In interval notation, it is negative infinity until 3 over 2. Not included yung 3 over 2. And if you want to graph, so 2, 1, 3, 4. 3 over 2 is 1 and 1 half, which means it is in between 1 and 2. So here, we will draw a circle in 3 over 2 and we draw to the left kasi less than. Okay? Sige, let's have just one more example. Number 5. Example number 5. Negative 2x is greater than or equal to 1 over 5. This means that we need to divide both sides of our inequality by negative 2. So we have here negative 2x, 1 over 5. We divide both sides by negative 2. Okay. Ito we will divide by negative 2. Lagay ko na lang, negative 2. Okay. And the sense of inequality will now be less than or equal to because we divided by negative number. Okay? So this side will become x less than or equal to. Remember, if we are dividing by a whole number, dividing fraction by a whole number, it is the same as multiplying it to its reciprocal. So this side is 1 over 5 multiplied by, I'll just use parentheses, multiplied by negative 1 half. Okay? So, our answer is x is less than or equal to negative 1 over 10. Okay? Negative 1 over 10. Liitan kong konti pa so that you can see the whole equation. That is our answer. In interval notation, less than. So, it is from negative infinity until negative 1 over 10 included kasi less than or equal to. And if you want to graph, then that is 1 over 10 is in between 0 and 1. Lakihan na lang natin yung interval. So, 0, negative 1, negative 2, 1. Kasi yung 1 over 10, you will divide 1 by 10. So, kung by 2, by 5, yan. Hindi siya, balance. Ulitin natin. So, basta we will divide this by 10. Sige, I'll divide by half, tapos divide ko na lang to sa 5. Mas madali. 1. Ayan. 1 over 10 naman kailangan natin. So, nandito yon. Ito siya, no? We will shade this using a circle. And then, we shade to the left. Okay? And that is how you solve linear inequality using multiplication property of inequality. Thank you for watching. Bye!